Indian World Film Festival. My name is Sai Vivaswath Omkaram. I'm the director of the film The Watcher. I'm super excited and elated that the festival has selected my film to screen. Just to talk a bit about how the movie came to be. Like many of you, I was a secret wannabe filmmaker stuck in a corporate job, and I wanted to kind of showcase how suffocating my corporate job was, because this one time I had a particularly micromanagerial boss that was so imposing in my life that he started to bleed into my subconscious. So I wondered how it would be to marry these psychological elements with nostalgia from India and all the memories I had from growing up eating street food. So this movie is just a result of those two themes and ideas, and I've always wanted to play around with black comedy and drama and thriller elements in my film. So this was my 25-minute attempt at doing that. As to the challenges I faced, there were many, right from the inception, right from putting together a concrete script to shooting it. So I'll just talk about how the challenges we faced on set. The first and foremost being that it was shot on Indian streets. As you know, it's a nightmare because there's a lot going on. As a small crew, to manage crowd control, to manage the key elements of the scene was the hardest part. And as a aspiring filmmaker that wanted to do a lot, I insisted on doing a rain scene. So shooting a rain scene, filming a rain scene on a day that wasn't raining involved bringing in water tankers. So that kind of changed the blocking of how the scene worked. So impromptu, we had to chuck all the blocking that we had rehearsed, and then kind of fly by the seat of our pants and kind of do it all on set. Also in post, we realized that the sound, the noise from the water tankers were so overpowering on the sync sound, because we also chose to shoot it all on sync sound. So we had to dub that scene just to make sure that the dialogues were heard loud and clear. And then I guess the other big piece of this film was my dream sequence. As an admirer of David Lynch and surrealism, I wanted to kind of translate my dream sequence to the, as accurately as possible. And so this involved talking with a lot of VFX students, a lot of small to medium VFX studios, and finally talking to one of the big players in India that were kind enough to hear my story, my humble beginnings, and agreed to do this film just purely based on the strength of the subject. So that also kind of ties into the budget of the movie. Because of their magnanimity, they did it for a fraction of the cost. So I'm forever grateful for them for having agreed to do this and translating my vision so beautifully. So those are the key highlights of my film and my journey so far. The reason I think everybody should watch this film is obviously it's super close to my heart, as cliche as that sounds. I've tried to, like I said, blend multiple genres: thriller, drama, black comedy. I've tried to play with psychological elements and how the protagonist goes through different stages of life, of first starting to feel paranoid into deeper realms of the psyche. You will see it as you watch the film. Ultimately, it's a very entertaining ride, so I hope you all have fun. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.